When last we left our brave heroes, what happened?
Heroes?
Heroes? Brave?
Foolhardy villains.
Foolhardy villains is the name of our team. Foolhardy villains.
I like that. Find it.
Well, you guys had gone after a bounty.
Successfully
Gone after a bounty, and
got paid some real money.
Had sort of in the course of that acquired a case of firearms, a case of blasters that you guys were trying to offload, and in doing so ran into your old pal, Dev Malior, everybody's second best friend, Dev Malior.
And first worst enemy.
You guys call him a worst enemy if he's just the worst?
He is just he's not the worst, though. He's just, in every miserable stat, worse than the best. There's a difference between being the worst and just being not the best in every way possible.
And he set you guys up with essentially a delivery mission for not just a single case of blaster rifles, but significantly more ordnance that he's delivering to a client. He's already been paid for acquiring them, and since obviously people are kind of after Dev, you guys will get the delivery fee.
Okay, and he said it was going to be pretty considerable, right?
I mean, you would hope so if you're
smuggling firearms.
And it came with the caveat that you guys, because your ship does have smuggler's holds, but this is a large enough shipment that you can't use your smuggler's holds. It will have to just be in your cargo.
In our cargo.
So if you get searched by Imperial Customs or whatever,
that would be a problem.
Yes.
We gotta gun him down.
Don't worry, if anyone from Imperial Customs goes, I'll go out there in my ransacked and put together Purge Trooper armor and use my presence of one to convince them not to search the ship.
I think you gotta leave that one to me, buddy.
With the former bocce ball player.
I do have 3 ranks in courage.
That's not what we should use again. The soldiers like, we need to search your hold. Like hell you do! Get off my shit! Okay, sorry, sir. Wait a minute, we're in Imperial. Damn. So we do that, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just go to the destination.
Yeah, I say he gave us where we're dropping it off. I mean, we load it on here. Do we make any effort to we throw a tarp over it or something? I mean, our hold isn't really big enough that we could surround it with boxes of legitimate goods or anything like that. Like, our ship isn't really big enough to do that, probably. Especially if we're going to be fitting my motorcycle in here, too. My midlife crisis mobile.
To the midlife crisis mobile.
In the last session before it ended, I had acquired an AC-1 series surveillance droid.
True.
We
do have a little droid friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll just cover it or whatever.
Yeah, so we'll head over there.
We could try to pull it off as a secondary in repair bike.
Yeah! Whatever that was.
I could pull it off.
Seems reasonable. You like this? These guns are all part of a peaceful mission where we are taking them away from Mos Eisley. I mean, we're taking guns away from Mos Eisley. We're really doing a service to the Empire. Like, we're keeping these guns off the streets here and giving them to the streets somewhere else.
We're doing the Force's work and getting rid of these weapons.
Doing the Force's work.
Don't tell them that. They ain't too happy with the...
They don't like the Force, apparently.
They don't like the Force.
Or whatever that is. So, let's do the thing. Let's just load up and go. I mean, I don't think that we're gonna be able to do anything convincing other than just throw a tarp over it, and if we run into Imperials, fuck them. I mean, we're gonna have to. Anyway, we start blasting. Let's maybe try and make an effort to avoid Imperial Customs checkpoints if there's anything like that. Definitely, maybe kind of circumvent major thoroughfares at all, if that's at all possible, with our path getting there.
I am an amazing pilot, so just saying.
Yeah, I won't make you make a piloting check for this.
He's not under any duress.
This is like interstate driving, pretty much, and an empty interstate at that most of the time. In a self-driving car most of the time.
I'm gonna fly 5,000 miles under the posted speed limit.
Now that's suspicious.
We're gonna go a little less than light speed, just so they don't have any reason to pull us over.
That guy's up to something. He's not going 10 over the speed limit.
Clearly, he's got drugs or guns in the car.
It's a relatively out of the way world that you guys are heading to. It's you expect if it has an Imperial presence, it's probably not an especially big one, which might be why
that's where the meeting
this is where this meeting is taking place. And you guys are essentially given sort of the details that Dev gives you includes not just the coordinates of the planet and the coordinates of a landing pad, but also a sort of access key or whatever, that sort of when you're hailed by the landing tower, you just give them
have
this,
a code to give them. Is the code 2 weeks out of date?
But it checks out.
Sick reference. Get it? Just like the Star Wars movie. The movie Star Wars. Episode 6. The Return.
I gotcha.
It's a really good reference.
Just because I understood it didn't make it funny. But
you just lost downtime activities at least 20 of your 40 followers. Or whatever
52.
you're at.
52. Hopefully it'll be more by the time this video comes out. Which will probably be
tomorrow. So no. We're catching up right now. Anyway, for the maybe 2 or 3 people who have been keeping up with this that aren't us, thank you.
Thank you.
You're who this is for.
Yeah.
If that's you, please leave a comment down there saying that you're who you are.
I do always appreciate that number being more than us.
2 or 3.
Yeah. That makes me happy. That's sort of all in the details that Dev has given you guys. So it's you don't need to necessarily do any especially fancy flying or.
We just need to not break the law. For 10 minutes.
You need to not go somewhere else and get arrested.
Okay.
Which the areas of places you guys can go in the galaxy and not get arrested are sort of shrinking
exponentially, reducing
job by job.
It is worth saying here, as Apex talking to the both of you, I don't trust any contact or job that Dev is related to at all. Our brief interactions with him have proven to me that he is somebody who is constantly on the wrong end of deals. And I wouldn't be surprised if these people were planning on just shooting him and taking these guns. Maybe they'll have a hard time because they don't have any guns yet. My point is, we should come armed and we should come prepared for a fight. I'm thinking maybe I am side by side with you, Haas, delivering these, and we may even have you posted somewhere, boxes as a lookout, because I don't trust this job. I would be concerned.
We could probably send send Droid over here. That's what I call my surveillance droid. I just call him Droid.
Of course.
We could send
a fine name.
Droid out and survey the area. I kind of get a lay of the land.
Sounds good to me.
I think it's worth doing. You bought the droid,
Yeah.
might as well use it.
Yeah. So how does this work for the droid? Do I need to?
I mean, it kind of just depends on what you're having it do.
I just want pretty much. I'm just gonna send droid to survey the surrounding area and maybe double check or check the coordinates for the meetup location. So this way we know ahead of time what's there.
I mean,
Maybe
the
get
meetup location is essentially the landing pad, like where your guys are supposed to dock. It's not. You guys don't need to lug all this stuff like out into the boonies or anything.
Okay. Okay, so probably sending the droid out is
Not necessary here, maybe.
yeah.
It'll probably be a little suspicious.
Yeah, it'd probably just be best to go armed and prepared for anything.
All right. Is there anyone, as we land, is there, like, people coming to the dock to meet us yet?
Nope.
Maybe then it would be worthwhile to have you post up somewhere. What's the surrounding, like, are we in, like, a pretty residential
No, it's
boondocks?
it's
or is it-
pretty. I mean, it's pretty uninhabited, just kind of across the board. Like, there's sort of a cut path that probably leads back to a spaceport or settlement of some kind. But it's just kind of wooded and pretty. Like the pad itself's kind of raised up above the trees, but it's just pretty. It's like you land there and there is literally nobody there.
Okay. Did Dev tell us that we needed to, like, bring these to somebody, or that this code would, like, alert somebody that we're here? Do we know how to get in contact with these people?
This is as far as your information went.
Oh, great.
Maybe we set you up somewhere
He
nearby?
said he would let them know you're coming
Yeah.
and like to expect you guys instead of him, but
I don't think we have the ability until we. Oh, I should have bought a freaking hover sled. That'd have been smart. Because I have a tractor beam on the back of my midlife crisis mobile. I could have moved these things around. Anyway, that's a problem that past me could have solved and didn't.
that past you briefly considered solving, I believe.
I think we just have to wait here. But it still might be worth Boxus posting up somewhere nearby just to have eyes
Yeah.
on the situation.
Are there like trees or something I can get up on?
Nothing that's taller than the landing pad that you guys are on. It would be hard to get a shot on the landing pad from anywhere that's not the landing pad.
Supposing he gets on the bike and flies it up in the air above the trees and hides on it.
Do you want to play a game here, sir?
I'm on call again. I'm trying to basically shove my phone between my butt cheeks so that you don't hear the noises go off.
He likes the vibration.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah. It's got a raging clue. My clue's pointing this way. Let's follow it.
My clue's pointing this way.
Ugh.
So there's really nowhere for me to get posted up.
I think we just have our guns ready. I think we just close up the ship and just wait for someone to drive up to us for like a day, and hopefully someone does.
Gaffy whack.
But not yet. Not until they prove they need Gaffy whacked.
Vibro whack.
Vibro whacked. Just because you're using a vibro axe doesn't mean it's not a Gaffy whack. A Gaffy whack is a maneuver that does not require a Gaffy stick.
Alright.
It was first
I mean, that's pretty
popularized
much
with
the
the
best
gaffi
bet
stick.
here at this point.
What was that?
I said that's our best bet at this point. We just gotta wait
Yeah,
and see.
because I don't think we have the ability to go looking for them without just leaving everything here. So we'll wait.
Okay.
We choose to do nothing!
You guys aren't. I mean, you're there for maybe an hour or two before before you can hear what sounds like a I mean, it's a speeder, but it's like a kind of like a cargo truck approaching. From
that little road.
yeah,
thing.
And it doesn't take long before it kind of floats, I guess, into sight. It's pretty nondescript. It doesn't have military markings or like industrial markings or anything, but it's also not like a junker.
This is the like generic. This is like the black Suburban of space.
No, it's like it's even like it's less like
it's like the white Suburban of space.
Yes. It
doesn't even draw the attention of black Suburban.
Yeah. It looks like it's sort of intentionally chosen to just be like, this is literally the least identifiable vehicle we can find.
Perfect. White Suburban. They're either criminals or soccer moms.
Yep. And children's soccer is really taking a turn.
Moms are buying crates of blasters. My boy will win the tournament, no matter what.
My son's soccer team lost, so I started blasting.
So anyway, I started blasting.
That sounds a bit like modern America.
Sounds like some soccer moms.
The truck pulls kind of right up onto the landing pad. It doesn't pull right up to the like ship, and sort of the driver stays where he is, and the person in the passenger seat gets out. And I get, are all three of you guys standing together, or are you scattered around, or are you in?
I think they were probably in the
hiding
ship, and then as they pull up, like as he steps out, maybe like the cargo door or whatever like drops with us, because we have like the cargo elevator, and that's the only real way in and out of the ship, right? So like that descends with us all three standing on it. Me, I will be holding my gun in my hand and standing behind him, attempting to look like a heavy.
I have my blaster rifle ready, and the droid pretty much right next to me.
Hovering.
Droid. Yeah, just hovering.
I will have my Vibro X sheathed.
He, the guy, sort of as the ramp descends, and like, it's just a hit squad standing on it. The guy kind of reacts slightly startled, and puts one hand on the blaster at his side, and he seems to be looking at you specifically. Like he's eyeing you distrustfully.
Gank, maybe? Does not like ganks. Oh, he recognizes the armor. Oh, I'm going, as he kind of, and I can recognize this.
He's definitely looking at you like...
Again, presence one. I don't put this tactfully. I am going to like lower to like where I'm holding the like handle of the blaster, but I don't have the other hand on it, so it's kind of down by my side. And I'm just going to say, I slit the throat of this armor's owner. Its true owner, at least.
Then he kind of takes a hand off the blaster.
I'm no imp.
Then I think we can do business.
I'll just give a nod.
You guys all roll me. Man, it's been so long I've completely forgotten literally every skill in this game. Perception checks would probably be fine. Or I'd probably allow underworld int checks as well, though those would be harder. You do an average perception check or a...
What's perception? Is that...
That's cunning.
Cunning?
Yep. I'm more intelligent than I am cunning, but I have a rank in perception, so it's kind of a wash. I'll just go with perception.
You can,
Here.
Excuse me.
So,
I gotta remember how this works.
So an average check will be 2 purple,
2 purple.
and then
I have no skills.
I have no skills. What'd you use your points on? I just stats. I am just buff. I am fast. I'm smart.
Sure.
I mean, that's
Should we
legitimate way
do
to
a
play.
force roll?
What was that?
Should we do a force roll before we do the...
Oh, yeah. You guys
yeah.
should.
Well,
roll
we
for
shouldn't.
this.
I'm keeping the one I already rolled because it was a success with an advantage.
Okay.
But I'll do a
Yeah,
force roll after
That's
that.
fine.
We just roll one force die?
What is that?
Yes, and
What I roll?
yes, all
3
three of you guys roll
Oops.
a force die.
One dark side.
Okay.
Alright, so I don't know why I completely can't remember how this works. So it's
So the
since you
difficulty
don't
is how
have
many purples you're rolling. So it's
Right.
two difficulty.
It's two
And then
difficulty.
do you have any ranks in your perception skill?
no.
So it'll just be cunning, which will be
right.
2 greens. If you had ranks, you'd upgrade those greens to yellows.
Right.
So it'd be like, if you had 1 rank, it'd be 1 yellow and 1 green instead of 2 green.
right.
Did you guys get what I rolled?
Yeah, you success with a threat, right?
Yeah, 3 with a threat.
Okay.
3 with it.
And
I got
then-
1 with a advantage.
And then a force dies in here with this
We'll
one.
just roll this first, because the
Oh.
force die will be separate.
What's the force die? Just a white?
Yeah, just 1 white die.
1 dark side.
Uh-oh. And then we can remember we'll remember what you just rolled. Now just
Yeah.
get rid of all those dice besides a white and just roll a white die.
What was
3 successes, 3 threats.
nice?
Man, Haas is always getting us into trouble.
One dark
A
side.
3rd dark side. The force is not in our favor this time. It was,
Not only do you not have very many destiny points, they're
all against
available
us.
for me to use. All you guys can tell based off that interaction that these guys are probably rebels.
Oh. That does kind of make sense.
And
That would make sense.
so you being the pilot and Haas, I guess, just paying a lot of attention. You're pretty sure that so this whole kind of back and forth goes down about the sort of not completely obvious Imperial armor, but at least this guy recognized this as being Imperial armor.
And reacted to it
Right.
accordingly.
So the after this brief
makes
interaction,
me trust him
you're
a lot
pretty
more.
sure as you're standing on the ramp of the ship that you hear a beep from one of the consoles up in the ship. You are certain you just heard a beep from somewhere up in the ship. You're not a pilot.
A beat from somewhere up above. I'm just very intent on oh, these guys hate Imperials. I like them. I like these guys.
After hearing the beep, I kind of look at both the Apex and Haas, and I'm just like, did anybody else hear that beep?
From where?
The ship.
Might be sensors.
I
You should
heard.
probably go up and look and see. We might have company.
Yeah, I'll go investigate the beep,
Okay.
figure out where it came from.
It is coming from your sensor console, and it's now picking up a couple of ships. 2 small, fast-moving ships have been picked up on the sensor.
I relay this information to Haas and Apex. We have more company coming inbound.
Is it from space or on this planet?
They're in orbit.
They're in orbit.
I say, gentlemen, you're making my friends nervous here. What's with these ships out?
Do you have ships? Because if not, we've got company.
The guy says, "Then we've got company," and he's already he just throws you a comlink, and starts running back for the.
I'll
truck.
pocket it and start running for our ship. Be like, "Ugh, it's dogfighting time.
All right.
Give me some guns. Give me some guns. Let's go." I am excited to shoot some Imperial scum.
Quick question.
Okay.
Was I not supposed to go 3 ranks if I only have 2 the
No, you can. So instead of it taking that green and upgrading it to a yellow, every rank you have over the base stat will give another green. And then then if you took another rank, and it would then upgrade that green to a yellow. So So now you would be rolling 2 yellow and a green for that.
Okay.
And then if you got a 4th rank, it would just be 3 yellow. It kind of like there's kind of diminishing returns. It's not additional dice; it's just upgrading dice as you go up. If it's something that you're not like super high in that attribute or characteristic for.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll dogfight now.
Let's fight some
I'll sit
dogs.
there politely because I have no skills pertaining to that.
Have no skills.
The ship also has no way for you to contribute.
The quad laser cannon, is that controlled from the gunner seat?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll be flying, I'll be shooting.
Okay.
Because you're much better at flying, and I'm as good at shooting. Unless you've got gunnery.
Okay. As you start getting the ship up and running, just flipping switches and pressing buttons. By this point, the truck has kind of vanished already, and a pair of Imperial TIE fighters come. Fairly low over the trees. What immediately happens is you get hailed for being a suspicious vessel on a landing pad in the middle of nowhere.
I'm gonna be like, Haas, you do get to do something in this combat. Convince them that we had ship troubles and just needed to land to repair some systems.
Right.
Something like that.
I tell them that.
Okay. Quick question.
Right?
Quick question. Would it be at all possible for me to trip something on the ship so we could almost so we can make the story more believable if they buy it?
You know that episode of The Simpsons with the
with
the spring break episode where where Bart's working as a courier and they're trying to get home, and Homer orders a new console, and the guy at the other nuclear power plant's like, Springfield, we're reading nothing wrong with your console on our end, and he just pours a cup of coffee over it, and you hear on the phone, oh God, oh no, oh God, oh God, no, oh no. That's kind of what you're thinking.
We're basically gonna do that. Yeah.
But I'll, let's save that answer until after Sklur tries to, to.
I mean, after Sklur gets 3 failures and 4 threats on this, anyways, we'll just have to fight. So there's no point.
Roll a. I'm gonna call this a daunting, so it'll be 4 purple.
Or
negotiation check or deception, I guess, if that's a skill.
I don't believe deception.
Yeah,
Yes.
Negotiation would be preferred.
Oh.
I'll let you do negotiation.
Okay.
I am a merciful.
You were about to say God. You were about to say God, weren't you?
Oh no, I was trying to say. I almost defaulted to DM. There's no dungeons here.
He was gonna say DMT.
Well, there is one, and we're about to be thrown in it.
It sounded better in my brain, but then it just sounded like that drug that's called DMT.
Definitely
All right, Joe Rogan.
2 successes.
Sheesh.
Those dice weren't necessarily
do it right?
in favor. Yeah, you did it right.
Sheesh. That's.
No threat, no fail.
Listen, guys, come on, help the guys out. We ran into some troubles. He ran into an asteroid. It was my pilot here. He's a little drunk.
Don't say that. I assume that's illegal.
Is space drunk? Is there such thing as space DUI?
He had one too many blue milks before we hit the star speed.
The response is essentially just like, get that thing moving as soon as you can. Like, Just like it's like as soon as you get that thing running, clear out. Like we don't want to have to babysit you and like. I mean, they buy it, but they're not like.
They're happy about it.
Yeah.
They're not like, oh, yes,
Yes.
let's help you. Yes.
Here, let us call you a mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's very just like if that thing's not out of here by the time we come back around, we're like lots of threats about like calling in a ground team and like confiscating the vessel and stuff like that.
And now we decide how greedy we are.
What do you mean? Well, we can make this deal happen quickly.
Oh, sure we can.
Yeah, we just gotta call them back. They gave Apex
I have a call them. I'm gonna go onto the comm link and I'm going to say, are they flying off? I'm gonna say we've talked them out of being here at the moment. They will be back soon. We need to move fast.
They'll pull the truck up.
Okay. We'll help quickly load the weapons off. Yeah.
Yeah.
He will give you a credit chit for 15,000 credits.
Dang.
So we'll each take 7,000. We'll tell him that was only
I mean,
3,000 on.
Certain somebody got us out of this situation. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but here's the other thing.
Can I run a negotiation check on my partners?
You can try. How about you roll it against my ranged heavy, and whoever wins has the effect of whatever skill they're using. So anyway, we're gonna blaze.
And he thanks you. He thanks you on behalf of the Rebel Alliance.
I'm going to. Don't know exactly what you all stand for or accomplish, but anyone who is against the Empire is doing the right thing in my mind.
But it almost...
What we're saying is...
No.
What we're saying is... Let the ethereal thingy that you guys are always talking about... Bless you. Guys.
May you force others to be better. Force it.
That's how you get yourself a hurry.
I think that's going to be my new... With the presence of one, I think that's my new giveaway. That's my new tagline. Like, you force it!
I don't know why that got This is a goofy session.
It's a good time.
This is a very goofy session.
Immediately.
Flying start.
No, okay. Well, we did it. We made 15,000 credits.
Good work. I'm assuming we will all add 5,000 to our personal credits.
I assume that's how you would split it up, but you can do whatever you want.
Yes. I mean, boxes didn't really do anything, but okay.
While we need to,
Excuse me.
vacate the premises.
Win us a dogfight. Thank you very much.
And we might still need to, because here's where I'm going to... Once we're back in the ship, after we've made this whole interaction back in the ship and, trying to decide our next move, I'm going to be like, so we're kind of nearby something that might be worth doing.
What's that?
So, you know when recently I spent, a week on the ship discovering myself?
Sure, if that's what you want to call it. Okay.
Yes, John Lennon?
I have written a groundbreaking song, and we're going to sing it together. No, I might... All right, let me speak bluntly.
Do you speak it the other way?
That's fair. I took out those weird cube things and I got them to open.
What?
And I found out what was inside and its information. And the information is some sort of, like, treasure vault for whatever these weird old wizards used to hoard. And there's some scattered about, and one of them is nearby. And that could be very valuable. And I think we should try and get it.
I agree. Let's do this.
Oh, the
Let's-
wizard treasure.
Let's force it!
You had me.
You had me at old wizard treasure. The whole thing.
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, you had me an old wizard.
Treasure.
You just had me an old wizard.
Wizard orders.
I don't know how I got them to open. I was trying to see if there was something mechanical I could get to work, and I just, while doing that, got them to open. And I don't fully know why, but it's profitable.
Maybe they finally opened because Haas stared at them for like a solid 5 minutes that one time.
He probably loosened it.
He loosened it with his mind.
Yeah, you damn right I did.
It took a few weeks to, fix itself.
Yeah. So that's nearby, and we should go try and find that old weird wizard treasure.
Let's do it.
For some reason, I keep never expecting the word treasure to be on the end of that sentence. It's just like, let's go find that weird old wizard.
That's a very D&D thing to do.
Yeah.
Also, finding an old weird wizard's treasure is a D&D thing to do.
It's true, yeah. It's not quite in the same system, but it's very nearby. The closest set of coordinates that you have lead to it's a desert moon, but it's like a cold desert. It is dusty and windy, but it's not like Tatooine. It's not hot.
Okay.
It's in fact close to freezing.
Good thing I cheesed the system and have adverse environment laminate.
And as you guys are, once you're kind of in the area, you can pick up a encoded transponder signal. That's very faint, but it seems to be on the surface.
Is it something that we can like triangulate?
Yeah, you could track it.
Let's track it.
Yeah. All right.
You know how in episode 7, Jakku has like the wrecked Star Destroyers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the same thing, but with a Republic battlecruiser.
Oh, okay.
It's partially buried from having been here for 15 or 20 years, and it's there's no movement or anything at all as you guys approach it. I mean, you can land.
What a strange old war relic. Looks like the Imperial ships.
And
Old Republic craft of some sort.
Encoded transponder signal seems to be coming from
Like on board.
it on board, yeah, somewhere within.
Looks like we're going grave robbing, to put it.
Is there a place for me to land the ship?
Oh yeah, you can land the ship just about anywhere around here.
All right.
Everything that's not the other ship is flat desert.
How
sounds like.
long of a walk do you want? That's the
Let's
only
land
question.
close.
Let's land as close as humanly possible for this.
Let's land as close as nautilingly possible.
Yeah, not a
Yeah, you can land. You can land right next to it.
All right. All right. So we'll do that.
It's just the atmosphere is breathable, but it is just cold and windy. Like the second like the ramp lowers, it's just like being pelted with sand.
Yeah.
It's
I don't.
Everywhere.
Of course. Rough gets everywhere. Not like you.
Not like you. Not like you, person who was super into me as a 10-year-old when you were a young adult.
And a queen.
And a queen, and there was weird sexual energy between you and me when I was like a 10-year-old boy. And that happened
Can you stop?
for some reason.
Can you stop talking now?
Did he stop? Did George stop? George never stopped.
You should have.
Anyway.
Yeah. Where do we go from there?
I say we. Is Apex? Are you able to track the signal better now that we're closer?
We know it's somewhere on board the ship. Is it something that I could like? Is this a signal that I could like connect to with like my data pad through our ship and like have some sort of kind of trace while we're inside of it? And I'll do that.
You'd at least be able to track like the signal strength and.
Okay. Then I'll take out my data pad and hold that, and we will use it like that little scanner thing in Alien, and it'll just bloop, bloop,
Motion detector.
It's in the walls. The weird wizard treasure's in the goddamn walls.
It's not all that hard to find a way on board on account of how this thing
I got some holes in it.
has some holes in it. Is somewhat mangled. It definitely doesn't look like it was landed here. It did land here, but it was not landed here.
It wasn't intentional. Getting here.
Yes, and it shows, at this point, pretty old signs of battle damage. There's a lot of scrap and stuff spread even just in the desert around it. If you guys want any useless souvenirs, this is the place to get them, I guess.
I went to a crashed Republic gunship, and all I got was this random piece of scrap metal T-shirts.
Yeah, you know, and every once in a while you can find pieces of laminated armor, not like functional pieces, but there are. I mean, it's obvious that this this was a fully crewed ship when it crashed here.
Is there like dead bodies?
In places, yes. Especially once you get inside, there's.
Does it seem like people who died because the ship crashed, or people that died due to gunfire?
Make
Do like a medicine?
you do a medicine check, an easy medicine check.
So is that just one purple?
Mm-hmm.
I have
Can you perception check just to kind of gauge the
3 advantages.
Sure.
Just 3
Just 3
advantages.
advantages.
Whatever that means.
Difficult perception. Just to eat.
Yeah, just an easy.
1 success, 3 advantages.
What was that, Jerry?
1 success, 3 advantages.
Okay. It doesn't look like anybody's been here for a long time. There's at least no recent tracks or anything. I mean, sand has pretty well piled up in places. Anywhere the wind can blow sand, it has piled up. They don't look like they were shot.
Okay.
Yeah, and once you guys are inside, I mean, the whole thing's kind of... all the hallways are kind of crooked and at an angle. There's a nice level floor, though, on account of the sand. So, like, the hallway is at, like, 45 degrees, but
But we're walking pretty
you're walking
flat.
on sand. So it's pretty flat. And it's I mean, it is it's dark and very quiet inside. You don't hear anything, apart from, like, the wind sort of whistling through, whistling around corners and sort of through the holes in this thing. There's absolutely no sound. There's no, like, sounds of movement or anything as you guys are moving
Eerie.
into the ship.
Just continue trying to get closer to the signal.
Okay.
Using the data pad.
Where it takes some navigating, especially as you find doors that are just completely blocked off, or that just refuse to open because the ship's without power. it kind of takes some maneuvering, but where the signal sort of eventually leads you is to a sealed blast door that has a sort of very obviously like an access pad that's much newer than the ship. And at least the pad still seems to have power.
Well, I'll go up and interact with the pad. Is it like something that just has an open button, or is there like, does it seem like it's coded to open? Or
yeah, there's not just it is locked.
And there was nothing in what I saw in the weird cubes that I don't know the name. Oh, we figured out they're called Holocrons, right?
Yeah.
Did the Holocrons tell me anything about opening these vaults, or just their locations?
It's a good skill to ask for here. Astrogation, for some reason. Can't really just do a... There isn't necessarily just a, like... No. You know what? This will be fun. Just do a force roll.
Let's force it! One light side.
You feel like you could interact with this pad somehow. Like...
Hang on.
It's very much like... You don't... You're not like, ooh, computers. Like, there's something else. There's something else sort of nudging you to, like...
What did I miss? Sorry, I had a phone call. So I kind of... that conversation.
It led to the signal leads to a sealed blast door.
Okay.
That has a, the access pad that's been installed on it is obviously much newer than, the rest of the ship, and it still seems to be with power.
Huh. Okay.
I'm gonna be like, now normally I would see something like this and see it as only a minor barrier and immediately begin trying to decode and hack through whatever defenses this has. And while something tells me I could do that, I feel like there's more to it. There's something else going on here. It's not just simple programming that's keeping this door shut.
Fair.
Do you think you can open it at all?
I feel like
it's similar to the sense you get with the Holocrons. I'll put it that way.
I'm going to say I feel similarly about this door to how I felt about those Holocrons when I was messing around with them and they ended up opening.
Well, you got those ones open. You should be able to get this one open too.
You were able to figure out. You were able to use your fancy schmancy science and tech to get those open. What's the difference with the door here?
I feel like opening those was an accident, and I don't know how to have the same accident right now.
Well, we have time. I mean,
well, I can hit it.
I don't think if anyone could break through a blast door with a gaffy stick, it's you. I don't think anyone can break through a blast door with a gaffy stick. I think they can break a gaffy stick or a vibro axe against a blast door, though. And I don't want to break your new toys. Going up and interacting with the pad, does it look like there is a insert password here, or is there any sort of thing like that functionally on it?
You could hack it.
I am going to just focus really hard on the console in front of me and just think. I'm going to do what I assume I kind of did with the Holocrons, where I'm just going to kind of look at the data pad thing on the front of it there and be like, I want this door to open.
Give me a force roll. Open, damn you.
One dark side.
It opens.
Okay.
It opens, but it's
but now it's evil.
It opens, and as you step into it, it closes really quickly and cuts you in half. Like that sweet opening scene in The Mandalorian. It opens. All right. I'm going to be like, I appear to have found out how to have that accident again.
Knew you could do it, champ.
Yeah.
Thank you.
doesn't have to stare intent at it.
What's inside of this thing?
Inside are some number of blasters, explosives. They're not all identical blasters either. They're pretty. It's like it's a pretty generous variety. It seems like whoever was building this arms cache was sort of just gathering whatever they could.
Okay.
There's blasters, some explosives, some bits of armor and clothing, including like desert robes and stuff like that.
Is there laminate armor?
There would be some like damaged stormtrooper armor, or some armor that looks like it was probably salvaged out of this ship, but is in slightly better repair than a lot of the stuff that you guys have seen. Old insignias for an order you don't recognize. Some communications equipment, survival supplies, charge packs for the blasters. That's most of what's here. There are a couple of kind of like everything's a lot of stuff's kind of packed in crates and.
I say we just. I mean, again, we're not under any duress at the moment. Stares at person running game, worried that he's going to say something. So let's just kind of go through everything and try and get like a really good look at what all's here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like we'll just kind of search around and make sure there's no hidden other doors or compartments or anything around, and that that this room isn't more than the eye sees. That was worded really weird.
Yeah.
I suppose it'll probably just be a perception check.
Okay.
An average?
Yeah. Unless you can convince me that another skill is relevant here, I think that makes more
2
sense.
success, 2 threats for mine.
How about conversion?
Where is your treasure, wizards of yesteryear?
Listen here, room. I'm gonna need you to give up all your secrets.
5 success, 2 threats.
Yeah. Sheesh. You guys just cannot make rolls without rolling,
Why not?
without threats. Apparently,
One advantage.
One advantage.
No threats.
No threats on his, or successes, or failures.
We're about to get attacked by those goddamn TIE fighters now.
I hope they didn't pause here.
This there's no secret passages or anything in this room. This seems to be the extent of it. There's most of what here is military equipment or makeshift military equipment. I mean, you know from the Holocron that led you here that the guy who put these caches together was planning on sort of building a rebellion. And these equipment caches were meant to help supply that rebellion. So this is kind of the stuff you would expect to find for somebody trying to do that. And a lot of it's not necessarily military grade. Some of it is Imperial equipment, but very little of it. There is one sort of code locked case in the back that's relatively small. That's the only one that you can't just like walk up and open.
Can I walk up and like pick it up? Is it like set into the wall or anything?
No.
It's just like I'll look around, pick it up and look at the lock and think really hard about it and be like, is this something I can accident open, or is this just something I actually have to have the key to?
I mean, it's like a fairly basic electronic lock.
I'll probably utilitarian mindset. I'll be like, this is just an easy thing to do, so I'm just going to fix it. And I'm going to try and open it. What is I assume it's computers?
Yeah, just do an average computer check.
Okay, I am going to plug in my rat tail.
Okay.
And make that an easy check by suffering 2 strain. 3 successes, 2 advantages.
Okay.
And I use, it's 2 strain, right? Minus 2 strain, implanted cyberjack, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can just pop the thing open without any trouble at all. Yeah, it's compared to, like, I don't know, the safe that you busted into on board a ship that you guys will never be allowed back on, this is super basic stuff. Inside is, it's kind of padded case, slotted like multiple things. Like somebody intended to put multiple things in here, but there's only one thing in here. It's a metal rod about yay long. It looks very old. It's kind of rust spotted, tarnished. It does look mechanical, or electronic.
Pick it up and kind of look around the entirety of it and see if there. What I want to try and use some sort of skill to try and make a sense of what sort of weird contraption this could be.
Anybody could make. It'd probably be a lore knowledge skill.
Okay.
Let's do a hard lore.
That's pretty hard lore, man.
Why didn't we name the channel that?
Hard lore. Pretty hard lore, man. Hard, is that 3 perps?
Yep.
And
That's
lore is just my intelligence. I'm not lore.
That's hard lore, man.
A failure, but an advantage.
Failure.
Failure and a threat.
Failure and advantage.
What was it? Failure.
Is there any other piece to this? Is there any openings?
It seems like a handle.
Okay.
It's probably related to the Jedi somehow, based off the fact that it's here in a locked box.
I don't know anything about the Jedi. Is this one of those wizard's wands or something? How does this work?
And it seems fully
Can I look at it?
non-functional.
Like, maybe do a
It seems
perception
fully
check to see-
functional.
Non-functional.
Non-functional. Okay. You can look at it if you want. I think that I may need to charge it or something. It may need an energy pack like a blaster does. Maybe it's some sort of blaster handle. Is there a trigger on it?
I mean, there's a button.
I push the button. Nothing happens.
Nothing
I assume
happens.
that's how I figured out it was non-functional.
Yes.
Apart in question.
Huh?
Can we take it apart?
You think you'd probably be able to. Probably not here. What if there's a bunch of little tiny springs or screws or something?
Yeah,
that go flying all over
I'd
the
rather
room?
do that.
And you just never
I could go back to the ship and I have my mechanics tools there and I can try and open this thing up and figure some more stuff out about it. I'll definitely keep it, you know. It's a fun side project, if nothing else.
Do we want to take any of the ordnance or blasters?
We should definitely
with
take
us?
some explosives, because that could be very useful, I think. And then can we look through the blasters and see if there's anything of a particularly unique or interesting quality?
There's not. There's nothing here blaster-wise that would be any more impressive than the stuff that you guys have.
Okay. We can take some ammunition at least.
So you guys can, if you're taking explosives, you guys can take, get another 4 frag grenades.
I'm just gonna put this on our ship catalog list, and then you can take some at the end, however many you want to have.
Alright.
4 frags.
You would get a couple of actual demolition charges.
Okay, how many? 2?
Yeah, 2.
2.
That you could probably connect to a pad and remote detonate or set for a timer.
Okay.
And they'll clamp onto magnetic surfaces and stuff.
Okay.
And 1 thermal detonator. I probably shouldn't give you guys that.
We're holding a thermal detonator!
The party is holding a thermal detonator.
Oh,
And all of my NPCs have run for cover, just like everybody in Jabba's mouth.
there's no way we somehow use that to derail this entire
There's no
campaign.
way you somehow kill yourselves with that. Right?
Oh, there is entirely way. So, do either of you guys want some frag grenades? I think I might have.
Yeah, I think
I have
you
one.
guys, yeah, you guys kind of got a couple of them anyway.
How many what did you say?
I'll take an extra one.
Okay.
So
Take one of them. Do you want to have any frags on you?
Yeah, take one. I don't think
Okay.
I have one.
You guys can each take one of them. I'll just keep the one I have, and we can have 2 on the ship. The demo charges we should keep on the ship. That's something that we would specifically kind of need to
It's
use.
also kind of a suspicious thing to just be walking around
Like
with.
a land, not even land, like a pack of C4 just on your backpack.
guys have a suicide pack? Why the hell are they walking around with demo charges?
You see, comrade, when wear armor like landmine, enemy not shoot you for fear of blow-up city block. The thermal detonator, are those like illegal as hell to have?
Oh yeah.
That goes in the smuggling compartment, I think, and we just all know it's in the smuggling compartment in case shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That blows up. That will blow up city block.
And that will blow up Outer Rim Special, so be careful. Also, we'll blow up whatever we decided our team name was. Villainous Nobodies or whatever it was. What was the thing at the start of this? Two brothers.
It was you said brave heroes, and it was like foolhardy villains or something.
Foolhardy
Foolhardy
villains.
villains.
It'll blow up exactly 3 foolhardy villains and 1 Outer Rim Special. So let's be careful. I don't know if you've like read through the statistics, but like the thermal detonators are hardcore, Jerry. When you're looking at those, they're like they deal damage into like ship level damage, right? Like they deal damage like a Star Destroyer's blaster deals, like a Star Destroyer's cannon deals.
Not quite that extreme, but they however much armor or soak you have, you don't.
Yeah,
Like
it's like it's 1 damage is equivalent to like 10 damage of a blaster,
and
right?
they ignore 10 points of soak.
That's right. That's what it says. 10 points of soak is just not applied.
They're and they do they're hardcore. So that's probably not a great idea to give to you guys, but you know, hey, why not? Let's see what happens.
Sometimes you give the party sovereign glue, and you just hope that they don't
glue 2 other party members together.
exactly, or like
Yeah, I did on Matty G's Bachelor novel.
Yeah.
Just his
You
pre-wedding.
didn't end up
and
finding
I never
any-
ended up using the glue.
I didn't get to use my immovable rod all that much.
what you did use it for was horrific. So there's that. All right. Well, good work, everybody. If there's no like particularly unique blasters, I'll just take this weird wizard wand, and we'll take some explosives. And is there enough armor here that I could reasonably get like a laminate set together for boxes?
Yeah, it'd
Would
probably take some repair.
Okay.
I mean, the
And
type of
is
thing
it-
that it's like you're like spending downtime.
And would it
repairing.
end up being like laminate, or would it be like stormtrooper laminate? Like, could I piece together enough non-stormtrooper pieces that it could become a functional suit of laminate that wouldn't be recognizable?
Yes, I mean it might be recognizable as whatever these proto stormtroopers were.
Yeah.
To some degrees, but it
That's
won't
fucking
be
rad, though. Like, boxes in, like, Clone Wars era trooper laminate. I mean, it's super illegal, probably, and bad, but it's also really cool. That picture is very cool in my head.
I don't care how illegal it is. I'll take that. Thank you.
That
very much.
just means that all 3 of us are wearing illegal armor instead of just 2 of us, so might as well at this point.
Hey, you guys, any place that you would be arrested for wearing that, you'll probably just be arrested on site anyway.
And they won't recognize us with all this illegal armor we're wearing.
It wasn't until we pulled the illegal helmets off that we realized we were going to arrest them anyway.
Hey, weren't you the guys that killed all those people on that cruise line?
Allegedly.
That wasn't us. You're thinking of a different crew.
A different crew of a Nautilin.
Another Gank and a Chad.
Former Smash Ball star.
Former bocce ball champion.
Yeah, that's
Smash
all.
ball, but also bocce ball.
Smash Ball is bocce ball, I'm sure.
If that's all the stuff that you guys wanted to take, you can absolutely.
You said there's also like Deserty Robes?
Mm-hmm.
What would the functionality of those be?
They are in that book under Concealing Robes, I believe.
Oh.
Armor.
Let's see what those do. Is there just how many sets of those are there? How many robes?
Probably 2.
Seems worthwhile.
I feel like those would probably be good for maybe stealth, like keeping ourselves
I think
incognito.
I don't know if it would work with his like power armor, but I bet you and I could put them over our illegal armor, and
Yeah.
that would cover it up maybe.
Yeah. that could
Concealing
work.
Robes. Many ancient Jedi Knights favored heavy concealing robes for their anonymity. And now force users throughout the galaxy use them to avoid notice. Okay, so more story stuff. But anyways, thanks to their cut and construction, Concealing Robes add a setback die to checks to notice or recognize an individual wearing them. Can they be worn over armor?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine.
Okay. You want...
Sweet.
I'm gonna put
I'll
on
take
some
one.
Concealing Robes.
What is it called now?
A Concealing Robe. And it'll add a setback die to us being recognized. That seems very relevant in our current legal predicaments.
It makes it sound like somebody's taking you to court.
They will if they can find us.
Well, it depends on who finds you.
That's true. They'll probably just kill us.
Yeah.
Then we determined that it would be
Okay,
useless
so
for
we've
me.
kind of looted
Well,
everything
there's
we
two
wanted.
sets.
Oh, there's like 2 sets.
I mean, I guess
It would probably,
I'll carry back
because of the type of armor you're wearing, it would probably do less good for you.
Yeah.
Because
It's
it's
so bulky. They'd be like, either that is an industrial droid or a man wearing illegal armor under that robe. And he's very charming, so I don't think it's a droid.
That makes me want to play a high charisma droid. That would be so much fun.
But not a protocol droid. Like a droid that
Yes.
looks like an industrial style droid.
Well, just
or
like you
something.
just convince everybody that you're just a really, really augmented cyborg.
Yeah.
It's like,
I am a gank. Just a very augmented gank. Speaking of a very augmented gank, I want to buy new arms.
So it's safe to say we've looted this area pretty well at this point.
Yeah, I think we pretty thoroughly looked through this area.
So I say we just head back to the ship, grab the broken pieces of laminate or of the armor. We've got the explosives, so let's get
Yeah.
out of here before those TIE
Before those
fighters
TIE
find
fighters.
us.
Track us back down to this place. On the way out, I'd like to go back over to the like control panel and just like think really hard about closing the door behind us.
do you think if you just pushed the close button, it would probably close it?
I walk up to it and I stare at it really hard for a second, and I get kind of noticeably frustrated, and then I push a button and it closes.
Can I just walk up right as he's staring at it and just push the
You just
button
push the
and
close
it?
button, and I'm gonna I was kind of I'll look at you kind of frustrated and being like, I probably could have had the accident again if you gave me a little more time.
Jerry, the first D&D campaign that I ran, anytime somebody went to open a door, I would ask push or pull.
Because he's a monster.
And it only took Erickson getting it wrong once or twice before he just made Matty G open every door. So like they'd come up to a door and he's just like, all right, Armstrong, you open it.
Especially because of the character I was playing, he was very much like a like kind of know-it-all, like very intelligent, very prideful person, and so looking like an idiot pushing a pull door was like a personal affront to him. So I was like, he would not open, like if there's a chance that he looks like an idiot opening a door, he would wait for someone else to open it so he doesn't look dumb.
As much as it amused me, I stopped doing it like halfway through because I could tell it was just frustrating to people. But
It was a funny kind of frustrating. I appreciate it and respect as a fellow game master. I appreciate and respect it.
You monster!
heading back through the ship. You're still not, jumped by womp rats or anything. But almost as though some people's many threat rolls
Are coming back to bite us.
Are coming back around. When you guys exit the ship, parked next to your ship is an Imperial Customs frigate.
Oh.
And there are a couple of people kind of milling around. But, like about to give you the space version of a parking ticket, I guess. Actually, Imperial Customs frigate's not in there. I can tell you.
I'm going to tighten my robes around my super illegal armor. And